Hey, 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 it's Krystal The Goddess, and I'm the creator and owner of the House of Divinity. And welcome to the House of Divinity Podcast, a place where we have divine discussions, all about raising your vibration, activating and aligning your chakras, and really just tapping in and being your most divine goddess self. Now, let's get to the episode. Hey, 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 I'm Krystal The Goddess, and welcome back to another episode of the House of Divinity Podcast, your guide through goddesshood, assisting you in being your most divine goddess self, activating and aligning every chakra, every cell in your body, as well as just raising your vibration and keeping that vibration high, okay? So I asked you before we get started, are you ready to ascend? Let's go. Okay, so today we are talking about, are you comfortable with yourself, right? And this stems from this question or this idea of this need for company, right? Like, why do we feel like we need company around? Do you find that when you're thinking about doing something, you're hesitant to do it alone? Do you find that being alone in your house like makes you uncomfortable? Do you find that you are postponing your happiness, your joy, fun, because you can't find anyone to partake in the things that you like? If so, this episode is for you. If not, listen in, tune in, and go ahead and offer some suggestions of some things that I miss or some points that I miss as we go through this conversation. So, this need for company, I'm seeing that this is a huge thing amongst goddesses, right? I know for me personally, I learned, I would say in college made me or showed me that it's okay to do things by yourself. Like, I loved how you could walk on campus and you'd see people just sitting on the grass, reading, taking a nap, doing nothing, right? Just being. And I love that. And I know even like to this day when people ask me about like college and what you love about it, especially when I'm talking to like younger folks that are, about to go into college, I'm like, I love that you can just stop on the grass and do what you want. Stop on the grass and eat your food, right? Stop on the grass and do your homework. Stop on the grass and take a nap, right? But it was seeing that really empowered me to start doing things by myself, right? You go to the study halls by yourself. You go to the computer centers by yourself. Like, I started doing all these things. Sorry, I became distracted by the community around me. But I started to do all these things by myself, and that seed alone planted for me going to the movies by myself, going to eat by myself. I do my own, to this day, at this moment, for the last 2 years or going on 2 years, I do my personal K day, which is my self-care day once a month, where I just take myself on a date, essentially, like do whatever I want to do, something that's going to make me feel good. It's a variety of things, right? I might do a facial. Typically, it's like facial, wellness, food. Like, I just do these things. It's just a whole day committed to me. I make it home in time to cook dinner for my family. But that whole day is all about Krystal, the goddess, right? And so I wanted to talk about this need for company, because I'm hearing and I'm noticing so many goddesses are postponing their joy, postponing their happiness. And I just want to be really honest and transparent with y'all. I want to talk to y'all like my homegirls that I love. And I want y'all to stop. I'm going to give y'all more love. But we have to stop. We have to stop postponing our joy. We have to stop postponing our happiness. We have to stop postponing our fun, because we can't find other people to partake in these things. I remember one year I wanted to take a trip. And for me, doing things with friends has always been hard, starting with college, because everybody didn't always have their funds together, right? They didn't always have their money ready to go. And so I remember just hoping, wishing, and praying and waiting on the day where I would get my friends that I didn't have to worry about if they had the money. I didn't have to worry about if they were going to, I'll just say the money part alone, right? Like, I was like, I can't wait for everyone to get into their career so that they will have the funds so that we can go out and explore the world and do these things without like, oh, I can't do it right now. Mind you, I've had a whole kid for the past 12 years, and I've been ready, to experience the world. And I remember one homegirl, she always had money, she never had to worry about things. She was always down. And I was like, let's take a trip for my birthday. My birthday's in November. It was September. I was like, let's go. And she was saying she was down, but y'all already know how this goes. Like, time, what is it? Tales as old as time, right? Long story short, she flaked. I think she actually, I'm going to leave it right there. I ain't even going to put her out there because I don't want y'all to know who I'm talking about. But she flaked on me. And I didn't go. Like, I was like, I went and got my passport. I went and took the application to her so she could get her passport. Like, I was like, go get your picture taken at Walmart. It's $5. She didn't go, so I didn't go. And where are all my crystal lovers? Whether that's you or someone you love, I have the perfect gift. Shop our manifestation crystal tumblers. We have the largest selection of crystals to choose from. So no matter what you're trying to manifest, whether it's love, joy, peace, protection, we have the crystal perfect for you. Whether it's your zodiac sign. I know how much we love our zodiac signs. Shop the crystal tumbler that matches your zodiac sign and get the healing that you deserve. Healing in 1, 2, 3 easy steps. Fill your tumbler with water. Allow it to sit 20 to 30 minutes so that the water can absorb the vibration of the crystals. And then after that 20, 30 minutes is over, you drink the water. Step 3. And the water inside our bodies matches the vibration of the water that we are drinking, and it will internally raise your vibration and activate your chakras and activate the cells within your body. So shop the largest selection now. Perfect for fruit-infused drinks, teas, and of course water. Shop now and get this healing delivered right to your doorstep. See you in checkout. Bye. And that was like, I'm sure it wasn't the first time. I wish I could say it was the last. I don't recall the last time I postponed. Actually, I thought of something after that. But that was like one of the first moments that I really remember, like, you really didn't do this thing because your homegirl didn't come with you, and you really missed out on an experience. Mind you, I understand safety, right? I'm a woman. I'm super hyper vigilant, as you can tell. Like, I'm super aware of my surroundings, so I understand, like, this needs to be safe. However, there's ways to do the things that you want to do while still being safe, right? And that's what I want to talk about, because the days of us postponing our fun are over, all right? We need to start to tap in and think, why do I have a hard time being alone? Why is it that I don't want to do things by myself? And you know how we start to tap into that? By being alone. By sitting by ourselves, starting with meditation. We sit still. Sitting is better than laying down because we don't want you to fall asleep, all right? So sitting still, I like to open my hands, make sure my spine is good, make sure my chin is tucked, right? And quiet your mind. Start with some deep breaths. I like to do a 4 count in, hold for 4 counts, and exhale 4 counts. And you do a few of these. I like to do, like, I ain't gonna put a number on it, but if I had to put a number, and I don't want to put a number on it because I don't want you counting, because then you're focused on the counting, you're not focused on the breathing. So do a few of them. I'm not even gonna give you a number because I don't want you to be hyper focused on this number. But I do some inhales, 4 counts, exhales, 4 counts, and then I just go quiet. Sometimes it helps to continue to focus on your breathing because it keeps your mind focused. But once you get quiet, ask yourself, why is it so hard for me to be alone? And listen. That first thought that comes up, you listen to it. Sometimes it helps to write things down. I do another form of meditating where I write down all the thoughts that come to my mind so that I can revisit them later. But in this case, this would definitely be helpful. You ask yourself this question in your mind's eye, that's why. But in your mind's eye, you ask this question in your mind and you write down the answer. Why is it hard for me to be alone? And when you get the answer, I'm afraid people are going to judge me. And why are you afraid that people are going to judge you? Because what typically happens, or what I anticipate will happen, is that we're going to find that this goes back to childhood. We're going to find that this goes back to something deeply rooted. Perhaps there was an incident. Perhaps there's some type of trauma there, right? Because we grow up as free beings And society teaches us restrictions, right? Our parents teach us restrictions. Don't do this, don't do that. And I've lately been in this experimental stage or phase in my mind where I'm like, what would happen if I allowed my son to live free? If I did not stop him and pause him? Because life will teach you. Experience is the best teacher. That's why it's hard for kids and people to understand, even grown adults. You can't tell them nothing. You have people to this day in your life that you know, I can't tell them nothing. They're going to do what they want to do. Why? Because experience is the best teacher. We are past those stages of like, if we're thinking about evolution, right? It's like we learn based on what we saw. And we are in a tricky situation with evolution where, you know, seeing and knowing that these possibilities are out there is not enough to stop people. And I can't say that I'm mad at it. Experience life, baby. Experience life and see what it has to offer. You never know. Your experiences may very well be different. So I think about this all the time with my son where I'm like, what would happen if I did not limit him? If I presented a limitless world for him where you can try it, babe. Try to soar for the moon and let's just see what happens. And if you fail, all right, what do we learn from this? If you're doing something dangerous and you get hurt, okay, what do we learn from this? Obviously, yes, I know what you're thinking. Like, that could be bad. He could die. Like, obviously, I don't want him to kill himself, obviously. But it's just like, if I could put the smallest amount of restrictions and limitations on him, like, how does that affect him, right? He doesn't live in a world, in a box, where he's like, oh, no, I can't do that. Like, it's, all these limitations cause so much hesitation, and I don't want that for him. He's at a stage right now, like I said, he's 12, and he's turning 12 next month, and he's like, he's starting to show fear, and I hate that for him. He's super courageous, but scary about certain things. Like, now he's afraid of flying. Turbulence, we had an experience and it shook him up literally, and he hates it. And I hate that for him. I'm like, I remember when you were younger, you were not scared to fly, and I want that back for him. And so as I read more about, you know, how we exist, our spirit exists, and we come into this body in human form to have this human experience and to add to the world around us, to create so that we can have this world around us. But if we are afraid to do things on our own, what is that hindering us from creating and adding to this universe that we have? Hey, Goddess, are you feeling tired and overwhelmed by the humdrum of everyday life? Are you feeling like it's time to get away and change the scenery? Do you feel like you need some time to connect with self, connect with spirit, disconnect from the digital world? You know what I'm talking about. Do you feel like you need to change your friend scenery? You want to be around some other goddesses, some like-minded, high vibrational, in tune with their divinity type goddesses? Or do you just like to travel? How about this? Are you my self-care goddess, into holistic wellness and all things about keeping our chakras in alignment and our energy high and our vibrations high? If so, let me tell you something. I have just the thing for you. The House of Divinity is going to Costa Rica. Yeah. You see what I did there? We are going to Costa Rica for our 2024 Goddess Retreat. Come along because you are cordially invited. Yes, this is only for the goddesses. Sorry, fellas, not this time. We are going to disconnect with the digital world. We reconnect with Mother Earth, reconnect with Spirit. We'll indulge in goddess workshops, chakra workshops, manifestation workshops, plant medicine workshops. We'll also go out and receive all the healing that Costa Rica has to offer. We'll go ahead and visit the hot springs for a day of relaxation and pampering. We'll go ahead and tap into our adventurous side, honey. Yes, we are going to be walking through the treetops of the jungle, of the rainforest, to see all of the ecosystem that lives up in the sky. Okay, not really the sky, but the trees are so high, you're gonna feel like you're in the sky. Come along for the ride, okay? All things holistic wellness. Tap in, tune in with self, indulge in fellowship with other goddesses. Yes, this is exactly what you need. Reserve your spot today. It is limited and we are guaranteed to sell out, and you wanna be there. I'm Krystal The Goddess. I'll be your host. We're gonna have a good time. Book now. It's right there in the description, in the caption, all of the things. Reserve your spot. More deets available in the description. Go ahead, send me an email, personal DM if you want to know more. If you have more questions, I'm available. Can't wait to see you. Bye. Every single thing that we have here is because someone had a thought and they created it. Right? Now, yes, this is grand, like Krystal, you're talking about being alone. But yes, I'm talking about how we allow things to stop us from being our true authentic self, right? And you're gonna find, we may very find that this is a theme in what I'm talking about, because it comes back to that. If we are gonna be our most divine goddess self, we have to live in our authenticity. And so many thoughts that we have, so many things that we do hinder that from happening. And it's really sad, honestly. It's really sad for me when I'm having conversations with people and they're like, oh yeah, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Ooh, no, I can't go, but like, I can't do that by myself. Ooh, I wanna do this, but I gotta see if I could get a friend. Like, I'm all for doing stuff by yourself. I was having a conversation recently and we were talking about just having fun, going out. And it was some people who were in relationships and it was some people who were single. And the conversation was, we started talking about how, like, if you go out by yourself, you're more inclined to meet people. So it's this idea of, like, opportunities. You have different opportunities when you do things by yourself because other people are more inclined to approach you, right? And so it's like you don't even know what you could be missing out on just because you're waiting on someone else. You are missing so many opportunities to meet people. You're missing so many opportunities to have experiences because we are waiting on people. And imagine how much more fulfilled your life would be had you had that opportunity. I'm not saying go out here and put yourself in harm's way. I'm saying, yes, do the risk assessment. Yes, do the research. Yes, see what you need to do in order to be as safe as possible, because I am a woman. I am a goddess, right? So I understand that some people may prey on me, right, as a woman, as a petite woman at that, right? And so I'm always going to preach safety. I'm always going to practice being as safe as possible and not putting yourself in unsafe situations. But there are so many ways that we can experience this world alone without jeopardizing our safety. And that's what I really want to talk about. And that's what I really want y'all to feel empowered to do. Like, the next time you're thinking about doing something and you don't have anybody to go with you, do it anyway. Do it anyway. My personal mantra, and I talk about this a lot on my Kicking It with Krystal podcast, Travel Diaries of a Goddess. Toss that in there. You see what I did there? But I talk about this and then also on my travel vlogs. But my personal mantra is, life is meant to be experienced. So go out there. No, rewind. I always mix this up. But life is meant to be lived. So go out there and experience it. Even if you have to do it scared. Because fear will hold you back every time. And I don't want to talk about fear right now in this moment, because I want to do a whole nother episode on fear. But fear is a part of it, right? Like, what are you afraid of? Why are you so afraid to be out here by yourself? Okay, that's valid. Now, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to live in fear forever? Are we going to hold on to think of it like baggage. Like, are we going to, like, walk around with this baggage forever, this fear forever? You see how silly this looks? I mean, it probably don't look that silly because they have a lot of African countries where they wear wraps. But, like, how silly is this? How silly are we to walk around carrying this fear when we can easily set it down? We can easily let it go and live our lives to our fullest potential. Like, there's so many things that we miss out on, and I don't want us missing out on anything else. So I want you to make a vow with me. Let's make a pact. No, I'm just kidding. But let's make a pact. Let's vow to ourselves that we are no longer going to postpone fun, happiness, and joy because of other people. That's simple. The next thing that comes up for you, if there's something you want to do, if it's something that you want to do it. If you want people to do it with you, that's great. I know, like, for me, so I just mentioned, I travel, I have a travel vlog. I also have my travel podcast. I like to travel. There were moments when my honey, we're knocking on 10 years, okay, in our relationship. And there are moments where he's like, I don't have the money right now. Well, I want to go do this thing, and I have enough money for me and my kid to go experience this, so I'm going to go do that. Now, has my honey and I split things? Yes, we have a 4-person family right now in our house. Excuse me. So typically it's like, okay, you take care of you and one of the kids, I'll take care of myself and one of the kids, and we're good to go. Like, that works for me. I'm totally fine with that. Are there moments where I've been like, this is something I want to do and I want y'all to share the experience, so I'm going to pay for everybody? Yes, I've done that as well. But the point here is that I'm not allowing him not coming with me, even though I love him with my whole heart, right? Every ounce of my heart loves this man. Even though, or this God, right? He's a God. Anyways, even though I love this man, even though I want to have these experiences with him, I would love for us to be here coupled up, vacation. Like, I would love, even my son, every time he's like, I wish my honey and his son were here. I wish the other half of our family was here. I do too. But I'm not going to not do something just because he's not there. That's the difference, right? People are so surprised when I'm like, oh no, he didn't come with me. It was me and my kid. Why? Number one, I also love my kid, obviously, with every ounce of my heart. And I want us to have these experiences as well. But, sometimes we can afford to take the whole family. Sometimes we can't. But one thing about it, if I can afford to do something, I'm going to do it. And if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And that's kind of where I've been. And I want to empower more of us. As your goddesshood guide, as your guide navigating goddesshood, I want you to know you can be out here too. And it's going to feel awkward. I still feel awkward and uncomfortable. I'm sitting in a park by myself recording. Like, yes, there's going to be uncomfortable moments, but growth happens outside of your comfort zone. There's so much joy outside of your comfort zone. It's pushing through the fear to get through the good part. Can we skip to the good part? No, we're not skipping through the fear. Go through the fear, come out on the other end, excited, happy, with a story to tell. Those days of postponing fun are over, okay? Those days of postponing joy are over. I just want you to hear me, okay? Those days are over, and I want you to share with me, tell me, DM me, comment, message, I don't care. I want you to let me know, what is the thing that you went out and did by yourself after this? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go on this hike by myself that I want to do. Because I've had moments where I'm like, I've planned events. This was a sound bath and nobody showed up, but I showed up. And that's okay. I've planned events with my Goddess Circle LA women's group where people say they're going to come and they flake, but guess what? I do it anyway. And I believe in divine timing. So if things line up in a way, if things align in a way where you end up doing something by yourself, perhaps there is a reason you are supposed to experience that by yourself. And I'm saying perhaps, but I mean this full-heartedly, right? Listen to your spirit. Listen to spirit. If this is something you want to do and nothing else aligns with what you want to do, first of all, other people's alignment ain't got nothing to do with your alignment, so we don't need to talk about that. Or do we need to talk about that? Do we need to talk about that? Because you want somebody to do something with you that you want to do, and their alignment probably not even supposed to cross that path. They're not supposed to have that experience, but you're supposed to have this experience so that you can develop character and develop the goddess that you are. And you're over here putting your development on pause. You see, it was straight, and then I put a hook there. It's paused. You cut off your alignment because the next person didn't align with you. If their path is here and your path is here and their path doesn't cross that way, you really gonna stop your alignment, stop your growth and your development because someone else is not aligned with you? Meanwhile, they said no because it wasn't in alignment with them, and they kept going so that they could stay in alignment with themselves. But we too worried. We too, worried about what other people are thinking, worried about what other people are doing, or going to think about us. We don't even realize we're hindering our own growth. We're hindering our own our own development. I don't even know if you realize that. I don't even know, and this is why, we talk about main character energy, and you have to treat your life with main character energy. You are the main character. Does the main character stop and change what they're doing because the supporting cast members No, the main character leads the storyline, and the supporting cast does what they need to do. They're a supporting member. They're not gonna be with you at every life event. Okay? They come out of the frame, they come back. They come out of the frame, they come back. Y'all catch up. But we're over here thinking this person should be with me everywhere. My friends should be everywhere I go. Mind you, I'm not a friend-dependent person. In my past, I have had like stronger friendships that way. More recently, I found that, I'm not trying to push solo bolo-ness because that's where I am in my life. I just want to push you being able to step outside of your comfort zone and outside of those friend zones to live life. And granted, that may very well be where I am, because I've seen friends in friendships that they just postpone themselves. They postpone their growth, they postpone their lives. And not that your lives start to begin to revolve around your friends, but I just want to be here to remind you to ensure that it doesn't, right? Make sure you keep your friendships, but don't block yourself in the process. Don't block your alignment in the process. Don't even slow yourself down. True friendship means I'm able to do what I'm doing and you're able to do what you're doing. And then as supporting cast of each other's story, we come together, we catch up, and then we stay in alignment. Even twins have to separate. You know, there's no reason that you should be postponing life and joy because of other people. There's no reason for that. And I love y'all, and I hope you don't think I'm coming down on y'all hard. I just really want to have a heartfelt conversation. And I want y'all to know one thing about it, two things for sure. Krystal gonna be honest when I step up on the flow. Bars. I really do like to rhyme in real life. So I was like, Krystal, let that part shine, you know. But in all honesty, I just want y'all to feel the love. Because I do love y'all for real. When Monique said that, that really stuck with me. Like, I love y'all for real. And I want to see each and every goddess elevate at their highest self. And like I said, if you have something you want to add, please add it in the comments, DM me. Let me know what you think about this, because I'm curious on where you are. I'm curious when did you have this revelation of it's okay to go alone? And mind you, sometimes we still have to remind ourselves. Because I have to have these conversations. Like I said, I planned to hike and everybody flaked on me. And I had to have the conversation with like, do I still want to go or do I want to sit at home? And I was like, Krystal, you've been wanting to go on a hike. And another thing I do is like, another mantra of mine, especially as I'm in business and entrepreneurship, is showing up regardless. You have to show up for what you want, right? It's manifesting. I'm going to show up and pretend like the house is packed. I'm going to show up to this hike and pretend like I got 18 goddesses with me. Like, you have to put that energy out there. If you're like, oh, I'm so sad, nobody wants to come, I'm alone, that's low vibrational. And so you're sending that low vibration out into the universe, and the universe is like, got it, sending it back. Nobody's with you, you're alone, you're sad, that's what you get. If I'm like, I'm showing up, I got a full house, I got all these people here, and I got to show up for all these people who are here to get healed and provide, I'm providing, but sharing space with me that I'm providing, and I'm here performing for all these people. Like, if I'm putting this energy out, like, yes, I got a full house, I got 2,000 people here. That's the universe. I send that to the universe, and the universe is like, got it, sis. Sending those 2,000 people back your way. But if I never show up for myself, if I never partake in those experiences and feel the joy within those experiences, right? Because that's the second part of it. Show up for yourself and don't show up, woe is me. We can't show up like, damn, like my friends really flaked on me, fuck them, fuck everybody, blah, 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 blah. And now you're sending that out into the universe. You have to show up in gratitude. I'm so happy and so grateful that I have this time for myself. I'm so happy and so grateful I get to love up on myself. I'm so happy and so grateful I get to tune into myself. I'm so happy and so grateful. This meal is so delicious. This meal is one of the best meals I've ever had. What are we sending into the universe? Baby girl. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, what are we sending into the universe? Like, it's one thing to get into the habit of like, it's okay to not be surrounded by company. It's okay to do things by yourself. The second part, and probably, I don't even know if it's more important or less important, but equally as important, at the minimum, it's equally as important, your attitude when you're doing these things by yourself. Because if you're like, I'm always alone, they always flaking, guess what, sis? You're always going to be alone, and they always going to be flaking on you. But if you show up with, ooh, I love having this time by myself. I'm in the moment. I'm at this concert. My sister, I have a sister, y'all. She's a double Scorpio in her natal chart. And she will go to a festival by herself. She has driven to Vegas, done day in Vegas multiple times by herself. She goes to concerts out here in LA by herself. Shout out to the Scorpio, because I'm a Scorpio too. And I don't know if it's a Scorpio thing. Scorpios don't mind being alone. I do feel like there may be some signs out here that are super codependent. I don't know what signs they are. Maybe y'all can let me know in the chat. I'm just saying. The Scorpio, my homegirl, shout out to Kiara, another Scorpio. She does things by herself. She will go on a hike. She will go to a restaurant. She will go out by herself. No problem. So one thing about it, two things for sure, them Scorpios don't mind being alone no more. I don't know. But honestly, like, and it's the mindset that goes behind that, right? Like, ooh, I love that I have this time by myself. If I'm at a concert, ooh, I'm having so much fun at this concert. If I'm at a meal, ooh, this meal is so delicious. Ooh, like, taking in the ambiance, just feeling good about what's around you and feeling good about that experience is going to change your experience. Again, I just told somebody right now, and they were commenting on something I posted, and I was like, perspective is everything. Yes, EIE, energy is everything, but PIE, Pi, perspective is everything as well, right? And how we look and view the situations around us. Somebody flaked on us, divine timing. Wasn't meant for them to be there. That does not change the fact that this was put in your heart and your spirit, so perhaps you're supposed to be there for a reason, but that person wasn't supposed to be there. I had to go on that hike by myself. I needed to be out in nature regardless. I was able to stop and get a lot of content by myself without worried about nobody, without holding nobody up. My natural content, I love that. So, I charge you again. Go out there and do something by yourself. And I want to know what you did. What'd you do, girl? Did you go to the movies? Did you go on a date? Did you go to the museum, to the mall, to the park? What did you do by yourself? And if you already have had this revelation, I would love to know when you realize, like, it's okay to go by yourself. Because I know growing up, we don't always have that, right? And so as adults, and this is, again, why I have this guide to God, this guide through Goddesshood, is to remind us of the things that, like, yes, I know we were brought up a certain way. Yes, I know society norms are portrayed a certain way. But we are adults now, and it's time for us to take charge and be in control of our lives and our experiences. So, thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I love y'all for real. And I don't really remember if I have a catchphrase for House of Divinity yet, but I'll figure it out. I hope you all have a great day, a great night, a great morning, and love y'all for tuning in. Let me know what you thought about this episode. You know, we starting out, and I'm just out here. I'm excited, and I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to the House of Divinity Podcast, where we have divine discussions for the gods and goddesses who want to raise their vibration, activate and align their chakras, and really just tap in and be their most divine goddess self. Thank y'all for tuning in. Remember, we also have our e-commerce store where you can shop custom crystal jewelry, home and beauty healing essentials such as crystal facial rollers, candles that are infused with herbs, essential oils, crystals, and so many more things. Check that out at House of Divinity by KTG.com. House of Divinity by KTG.com. Also, if you are in the LA area and would love to join us for one of our healing events, LA is in Los Angeles, go ahead and go to House of Divinity by KTG.com and go ahead and pull up on me. Also, if you're interested, we have our Goddess Retreat coming up, so go ahead and check that out as well. I look forward to meeting you. Thank you. Leave some comments. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Go ahead if you have a question about anything, you want to talk to me about anything, feel free to send me an email at houseofdivinity@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you in my DMs, in my email, in the comments, and make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you so much for your support. Until next time, bye.